Are you out of patience for your children and their behaviors? If you are, this video today is for you. We're going to talk about patience. We're going to talk about some keys for you to be able to find more patience for the things that your kids are doing that are just simply being kids. My name is Brooke Fremouw. I'm a certified trauma support specialist. I work specifically with adoptive families. I'm the founder of Journey University and an adoptive mom to 11 incredible kids. So hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of these videos that I'm producing for you. And let's dive into today's topic. Patience. I have 11 kids, guys. And so people come up to me and they're like, oh, I don't know how you do it. You've got to have the patience of Job. And I think to myself, did I have a choice? Right? Patience is something that grows. It's something that God cultivates in us because we don't really have a choice, right? We have choices that we've made, and now we've got to figure out how to live within those environments. And the reality is that kids will be kids. And certainly kids that have any levels of neurological differences or trauma that has impacted them, such as adopted children have, you're going to need more patience than you would otherwise need. And so let's look at a few keys to being able to survive the times and show up as the best parent that you possibly can. The first thing I want to touch on is disassociating from the behavior. What does that mean? It means your children are saying, I hate you, or they're throwing this huge temper tantrum inside the store because you've said no. You set some hard boundaries or asked them to set down their electronics and turn into something else. And at the end of the day, there's behaviors. Behaviors, parents are typically more about the child than they are about the parent, okay? And so recognizing, hey, listen, this isn't about me. This is my child and their lack of comfort with what it is that I am asking of them, right? And so if we recognize that this isn't about you, even though it feels really personal, that allows us to then be able to tolerate a little bit more than we otherwise could, right? I know for me, when my children are acting really extreme in any level of behavior, I think to myself, like, what are other people thinking? And the reality is it doesn't matter what other people are thinking, right? What matters is that your child is learning that it's okay to have behaviors that aren't appropriate, aren't acceptable. And at the end of the day, you're still going to love them, that you're still going to be there for them, right? And that there may be consequences to their actions, but your love is unconditional. And that message is really important. The only way they get that message is by testing the relationship and those boundaries. So it's not a bad thing when your kids are having bad behaviors. The other thing I'd say is oftentimes kids cast opinions on you. You're so mean. You're the worst mom ever, right? They say these really extreme things and you think, hush, why? Why do they think I'm so mean? Mama, let me tell you, most of the time they don't. That's a manipulative behavior, or it's something that's being said out of their emotional memory bank because their bodies are in a state of fight or flight. It's not genuinely how they feel about you when they're in their right brain and their right body position. And so recognizing that those words are not valid words and taking away the impact that they have on that personal level will allow you to be able to remain neutral in the face of those behaviors. Okay, so separating yourself, disassociating yourself from their behavior is going to be tool number one. Tool number two that I want to teach you today is do not engage. Whenever your children are in the middle of a temper tantrum or in the middle of some aggressive behaviors or even just really pouty behaviors, if they realize that that can hold you captive or change how you're doing your day, oftentimes that's enough power for them in those moments to want to repeat the behavior in the cycle. Where if we can pull ourselves away from the ability for them to be able to engage us or to argue back, I'm not mean, you don't know what you're saying. Yes, you are. And it then turns into arguing. It genuinely does take two people to argue. By disengaging and saying you're not in a good space to have this conversation right now and walking away from it, that's going to help you to maintain control over yourself, as well as reduce the ability for your child to have a power payoff in being able to hold you captive from what you would otherwise be doing. Now, I know that that can be really hard if there's safety issues or if your child is really young or newly placed with you as an adoptive parent, adopted child, you certainly don't ever want to leave your child feeling abandoned. However, you also don't want to be in a situation where your child holds you hostage. So setting some plans in place ahead of time as to what you're going to do when this child is struggling with behavior is going to really help you in the actual situation to be able to separate from that behavior and not give them the payoff that they are looking for or the fight that they're looking for. I'm totally okay with rolling down Walmart with a kid kicking and screaming in the cart and not even saying words to this child, right? You can say, no, the toy's not happening. Safe body, please, safe mouth, and continue to push the cart. And eventually the child's going to realize, like, that strategy didn't work. I'm going to need to find a new strategy to try and get what I want, right? Now, I know that this is very oversimplified. In Journey University, we actually have systemized tools and strategies for positive reinforcement, focus on body regulation and body stability, making sure that the child's brain and body are fully integrated so that they can make better choices. And if you're interested in that, that's going to be in the description section down below in this post. So thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you here at Journey University. We'll catch you with more tips and tricks later. Bye-bye.